Hey guys, Coach Hunter here, Mackenzie helping me out today. Today I want to talk about an MMA concept that's super important. We're gonna get more and more into this, but I've known and I'm trained with people who are really, really good kickboxers and who are really, really good grapplers. Sometimes both. But the thing that they struggle with is the transitions. And I think it's the mastery of the transitions that defines a really good MMA fighter versus someone who's a good striker who's fighting in MMA, or a good grappler who's fighting in MMA, right? And of course, you get some people who are masters of this. Demetrius Johnson, I think, is the fighter who has the best command of how to manage transitions. If you watch his fights, you'll see he flows seamlessly from striking into clinch, striking into takedowns, from clinch to takedowns, from takedowns and clinch into striking, right? I think it's really important we understand how to flow those. So we're going to get into the basics today, starting with the wrestling kind of approach, so a takedown. We already did a bit of the flowing into the clinch 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off, of course, general warm-up, really important. I don't show that every time to save time on the videos, but we do one here before we start filming, so it's important to know that I'm not coming in cold either. Okay, so in this one, guys, one thing I make sure you add to your warm-up is a shot footwork. Okay, making sure we're getting that accurately. Okay, so Mackenzie, I'll show it with Mackenzie here, then I'll show it solo, which is how generally it's practiced even in a class. Okay, so I'm stepping in, changing levels, driving my knee down, making contact with my opponent before my knee hits the ground, and stepping through. Okay, so guys, so I change levels. Okay, I'm maybe just squatting down into my stance as I take a deep step with either my lead foot or my rear foot. It doesn't matter. It can be either one. They both work just fine. Okay, and there are good wrestlers who shoot either way, regardless of stance. It could be your lead foot or your rear foot stepping through. Okay, so I change levels and I step. I'm nice and proud through the chest. Right, I'm upright. My shoulders are over my hips. I'm not leaning way forward. It's very common for people to kind of like bow at the waist and reach. Bad idea. Okay. You're much more vulnerable to counter-striking. You're also going to be at a bad shot, okay? It's not good. So I change levels, stepping in deep. My knee drives straight over my toes. Down to the mat, I step up, okay? Changing levels, driving in, down to the mat. From the side, I change levels, step in deep, drive straight down, I'm up. Your old man knee pop. Change levels, step in nice and deep, drive down. My other leg just trails, it drags behind me, okay? There's the mat, step up. Yeah, it's our classic wrestling shot. I'm gonna show a variation here in a little bit as well. Kenzie? With my partner, if her foot is on this line, which is perfect, good placement here, okay? I wanna make sure my foot also hits that line, a line that runs through her shoelaces, or where they would be, okay? If my foot is shallow, stepping here, when I shoot in, there's not going to be contact in my chest and her hips. Or they're just barely contact. Like, she didn't move at all. What I want is from my foot on that line, now you can see I hit her hips and I drive through her. Really important to get her weight moving on this. Okay, so the first thing to do, your partner, this shouldn't be painful for them. If they're a little more hesitant, okay, make sure you let them know you're not going to be taking them down on this drill. We're not going to worry about the finish of the takedown. And that it won't hurt, okay? But be careful your knee doesn't land on their toes or anything like that. It's going to make them less likely to want to practice with you in the future. I change levels, I step in, and I drive through. My head is up. I'm not looking at the floor. Really important. When I'm doing this, I'm not looking down. Kenzie can start squashing me down and getting me away from her, right? Okay? I want to make sure my head is up. I'm looking just above the horizon. Okay, I drive through and step up. Okay, that's our shot. So how do we get there? Often it's striking. Of course, if we have a really great shot, we're fast, we have excellent technique and a lot of practice, we can just shoot with cold, but it's like any cold technique, it's a bad idea. It's a big movement, you're gonna get countered really easily. First time I ever got knocked out was when I shot cold, no setup. Okay, really bad idea. Got through a little uppercut, there it was.
But you had a really good setup for that takedown he did. Where he hit you in the gut.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that one.
Oh, okay.
Different fight. Different time I got knocked out, okay? Thank you. All right.
Bingo.
So, the simplest option is just to throw my jab, okay? A couple times if I throw my jab while changing levels, right? That's the way.
Sorry, it's so different from wearing kickboxing gloves.
It's not. Okay.
It feels different though.
Yeah, so, over here, stepping in. Notice I'm changing levels and stepping in every time, right? It looks exactly like the takedown. Right? So I'm hiding my movement now because I'm just going here. Maybe I'll come up and do some other strikes a couple times. And then when I'm ready, go right into my takedown. Okay? So with the flow between that. Okay? Same thing. One of my other favorite setups is throwing my leg kick. Okay? Sometimes I'll be here, throwing my shots. I throw this inside leg kick. Okay? Here I throw my shots, and this inside leg kick. For the next one, inside leg kick, just dropping right into my takedown. Okay? So when we're practicing, thank you. We're shadow boxing. We have no partners. Totally fine. Of course, lots of shots, right? Do lots of shot footwork. You can wear socks if you're getting mat burn on your carpet burn, I guess, right? Or if you have wrestling shoes, use those. But you probably already know how to shoot if you have wrestling shoes. So I'm thinking about my jab directly into my takedown. Okay? Changing levels on the jab a couple times, moving around. Changing levels on the jab. Changing levels on the jab. And then we shoot. Shot and jab. Shot and the jab. Okay? Thinking about our kick. Right? Throwing our inside leg kick. Stepping directly into the takedown. Alright guys, so it's our time. Okay. Another thing to consider is that especially with MMA, with the more upright stance, right? In wrestling and grappling, we tend to be a lot lower, right? A lot more based. Okay, so we have to get down underneath the hips. That's why we change levels and drive our knee all the way to the mat. In MMA, we have to be more upright in order to strike, or much more so anyway. Okay, so if you're using your stance, right? I'm thinking about doing the same thing, right? And then I can just kind of come forward. As long as I'm under her hips, forward a bit. Right? I'm throwing my setup and just drive in right here. Okay, I don't have to drop all the way to the floor necessarily. But unless you've got knee problems already, I would encourage you to practice the shot all the way to the knee, because that way we're practicing the harder version that is going to lead into the easier version more easily. But that way, if we have it, if we need it, we have it, right? Practice the hard version first. It's always my advice. So guys, play with those setups, play with changing levels. Even if we're just shadow boxing, we just fake it, right? If you watch Demetrius Johnson, I know I use him a lot here. He does a lot of little level changes with his head movement. So slipping, rolling, and then just level change, or bob, okay? Play with that, guys. See if it works for you. And if you need any advice, you're not sure of your technique, film yourself, send it to me. I'm happy to give you some advice, give you some feedback. All right, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the mats.